vrijeme kad smo krenuli normalno raditi sa 2 aviona, a taj dan...
Well, that was the time when we normally started to work with 2 airplanes. On that day, it was decided that the 3rd airplane would fly to go into action 3 times during one night. We started late with the first sortie due to concentration of circumstances with the first airplane. In fact, the first 2 airplanes flew together, and then the 3rd flew with Marko, Mirko, Rade, and Ante on board. They left pretty late, just before dawn.
U dogovoru sa pilotima, pokojnim Vukušićem I Živkovićem, kad smo dogovarali njihove...
As we agreed with pilots, the late Vukušić and Živković, when we scheduled their flights and everything else, I recommended them to fly at speed of 147 kilometers per hour, which is otherwise a dead speed for the radar. The radar deletes all targets flying at such speed and does not display them as a constant target, but as a constant reflection. The bridge close to Nemetin, it means near Njemci, had to be targeted and demolished. It was strategically, I think tactically, very important for our forces to obstruct them while they were crossing the bridge. Maybe we will get lucky and hit the bridge, because that is very difficult. I think the probability to hit it with those bombs is very small.
Zbog toga je neprijatelj odlučio, znači, da dovede modificiranu varijantu.
Due to that, the enemy decided to bring a modified version of Cab-M that can respond to shooting such targets with a so-called passive homing.
Te rakete su bile već tamo postavljene ranije, pucano je na nas I prije.
We were fired at before. If you remember that television report from Hungary, when one unidentified missile fell on their territory, and that was also a Cab. We saw it was a Cab later on, while we were doing the analysis. However, at that time, we did not pay attention on that at all. They waited for us. They practically came to them as if on order, and practically had no chance.
Tog kobnog jutra, nakon što su pošli na izvršenje treće zadaće, negdje ujutro.
On that fatal morning, after they had gone to execute the 3rd task, they did not apply classical guidance. It means by lighting up the target, but they guided the missile to the target by means of passive homing. They aimed with 2 missiles, as it is usually done with that missile system. Both rockets hit the targets, so that all 4 of them, 2 pilots and 2 parachutists, were killed with the cargo. At that moment, it was really a coincidence who was in the airplane. Marko, Mirko, Rade and Ante were on board.
Niko nije htio povjerovati praktično u to da su pogođeni. Uvijek misliš da su iskočili.
Nobody would believe they were hit because you always think they jumped out because of something. Nothing was notified to the other side, and we had a double connection through Motorola and through the station of airplane frequency. Nobody believed that what happened indeed took place until we arrived to the site.
I možete zamisliti da su oni zbog toga jednoga zrakoplova koji je klip.
And you can imagine that because of one airplane that belonged to piston engine aviation, it means of poor quality, they dragged the Cab system all the way from Kragujevac to down them, and they did so.
To je na neki način bio I kraj naših borbenih djelovanja. Poslije toga
That was somehow the end of our combat actions. We had to leave that place later on. We moved more to the west, it means towards Western Slavonia. We separated again into two groups that continued with actions, but not of that kind. Not in that way anymore, because it became too dangerous, and almost 100%. It was 100% certain that they would be shot down on each of the subsequent flights if we had gone into action.